the Lotus, in the garage. It's cozy and warm in here. Why am I in the Lotus? It's pretty ugly outside in Washington, the weather where I live. So I wanted to do kind of a video and tell you guys, you guys saw the thumbnail, which car or 2zz platform do I like the most and why. And I'm going to give you guys some factors to factor into it, and so you guys can make your own choice which one you guys kind of want. So I currently own a Toyota Celica GTS. GTSs came with a 2zz from factory from Toyota and produced about 180 horsepower to the crank and like 170 horsepower or 160 horsepower to the wheels. You can get it in an automatic and you can get it in a manual. I also own a Toyota MR2 Spider, the Celica's front-wheel drive. MR2 Spider. The MR2 Spider is a 2000. It has a 2zz in it from Monkey Ridge Racing, and then has a 6-speed manual transmission in it. That car never came with a 2zz from Toyota or from factory. I put that one in there. And the transmission, you could get a 6-speed from Toyota, but mine didn't come with it. Most of them, none of them in America came with that. But I think in Europe, only in Europe you could get a MR2 Spider with a 6-speed manual, but it was a 1zz engine. I believe you could even get a turbo kit on them. That being said, I own a 2zz MR2 Spider with a 6-speed transmission, and it also has a Batmobile turbo kit on it from Black Label is a turbo kit, or from turbokits.com. So I also have that, and then this is the one that I'm in. This is my 2006 turboed by force-fed Lotus ELISE. I think with the sport pack on it, had the sport pack wheels. I love this car. I love my MR2 and I love my Celica. So the video for you guys is which one is the best 2zz platform and why. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to go into consideration with this is the 2zz in the Celica GTS is amazing. It's amazing that they offered that type of high revving engine, very sporty, 1.8 liter with VVTLI in a Toyota Celica GTS. It's very cool. It's like the higher of the old school Toyotas. It'd be like the GT4 version of it. Well, it was really amazing that Toyota decided to go with that. Even their commercials were amazing. It's also cool that they paired it with a 6-speed manual transmission, which I absolutely adore. So from that standpoint, having a Toyota Celica GTS with that type of engine in it is amazing. It's like putting a really good engine, in my opinion, in a Corolla, or putting a really, almost like having the M5 with the V10 in it. I think that's crazy that they put a V10 race car engine into a BMW M5. That's pretty amazing in my opinion. So I love a Celica for that reason. For the MR2, it didn't come with that. So I can give you guys my opinion on installing it and the consequences of doing that and the cost of doing that. Also with the hiccups that you might have. So again, the Celica came with the engine. The MR2, you had to put it in there. Now the Lotus came with the 2zz in it, and it was reworked by Lotus, the company, but it was a Toyota engine or a Yamaha engine that was put in it, and then they reworked it a little bit. So both the Lotus and the Celica came with the engine from the factories, from when you could buy it off the shelf. So from that standpoint, those are big wins. Now, not many people have ever driven an MR2 with a 2zz in it, and it's a pretty special event. Really, it really is. If you go test drive an MR2, most people find it extremely underpowered. They really do it, and it deters them. They might like the look of it even, especially if there's an action package, a TRD action package, they might really like it, but they really hate how it underperforms with horsepower. So when you put a turbo kit on it and you put a 2zz in it, you really get a completely different driving experience. And on my channel, I've done a video with a bunch of flybys and riding it, and it really is a visual experience, especially with the top off. I really do love it. So the MR2 has a lot of wins over the Celica due to, I would say, the rear-wheel drive, due to having the convertible where the top can come off and you can also get a hard top. And then also the fact that it's mid-engine too. So rear-wheel drive and mid-engine. All those are big components for the MR2, why I like the MR2 platform so much. And then I got into the Lotus and it already came with all that stuff from factory. So again, it's hard to really go and say which one do I like better. So the next thing I'm going to go into and tell you guys is the price ranges. So the 1.8 liter that comes in this engine, or in this car, is the same 1.8 liter that comes in the Celica or can be swapped into MR2, but at about a sixth of the cost. You can probably buy 6 Celicas for one of these. So that's really hard to go and justify. I'm buying a Lotus and it has a 1.8 liter with XYZ horsepower, and it's the same engine, but it's 6 times the cost. So that makes it really, really hard to justify that from a power plant. So which one do I like the most out of these? You know, that's what we're kind of going back over it. So that's another point, is price. Big point is price. So I'm gonna go over the reasons pretty much really why I like the Celica. Celica is its price, it's front wheel drive, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. What can be good about it? I think that it's fun for front wheel drive up to a certain point. When you get a turbo kit on a Celica or forced fed on a Celica, it's very difficult to get traction and actually make the car work. It'll spin a lot. It's fun for going around town, but if you're trying to do it in a straight line, or if you're trying to do a circuit with it, it does make it difficult to have the most traction going around corners with the front wheel drive, in my opinion, what I experienced, because I've owned that car before as well. So the Celica, I like the big winning point for the Celica is it came from factory with a 2zz. It came from factory with a 6-speed option, 6-speed manual option, and it's the most affordable. So that's why the Celica has winning points right there. Affordability, 2zz, and 6-speed from factory. To change gears, funny, moving on to the MR2. MR2 is great. The car is a reasonable car for what it is. It's not overpriced. It's not the S2000 price. It's not going to be $20,000 or $15,000 for it. But it's also not going to be ultra cheap. And what do I mean by that? You can find them ultra cheap, but then you're going to have to pay a lot to get it to where I have mine. For example, I made a video of how much it costs to get mine. It was roughly $20,000 to get my MR2 to where it was. And my MR2 has pretty much everything you can imagine done to it, and I love that car for that reason. So with the MR2 and having it naturally aspirated and a 6-speed manual in it, I hands down would choose that platform over the Celica for pure driver enthusiasts. An old kind of way how it used to be is you buy a Celica, then you might get the GT, then you might get a GTS and you really like it, and then once you're satisfied with the GTS, you are actually going to want to get, most people want to get the MR2 next. That's like what they want. They want to keep their Celica and have an MR2. That's like a 1-2 punch combo. Very common appeal around Celica enthusiasts. A lot of them have the MR2 Spider with a 2zz in it, if they've gone full out on the Celica. And I think that's what I did personally. So I bought my original Celica, and then I went to the MR2 and I swapped the 2zz in it. And when I swapped the 2zz in it, the first time I ever hit lift, it was amazing. It's faster than the Celica, it's rear-wheel drive, it's mid-engine, and you can mate it with the 6-speed. I had to change positions right in passenger there now. So yeah, with the MR2, it really has a lot of benefits to it. The Celica's downfall and its winning factor is the downfall is it's so cheap. The winning factor is so cheap. The downfall is that it's front wheel drive. The MR2, you get the rear wheel drive, you get a pretty aesthetic, beautiful looking car. I think the Celica is beautiful, and then I think the Lotus is by far the most aesthetic. Look at this thing. Good looking of them all, but with a price tag. So the MR2, you kind of get the performance. I honestly do feel, I've driven the Lotuses, I've driven EVORAs, I've driven EXIGEs, S240s, never an S260. I've driven supercharged ELISEs, and now I've driven my turbo ELISE. And by far my turbo ELISE, this car that I have right here is faster than any car I have, for sure, by a long shot. But with driving those old power plants, the MR2 that I built is absolutely perfect because it has the power that you want from the 1.8, especially with the turbo on it. And then it also has the rear-wheel drive and the mid-engine of this car, but at a third of the cost. So the Celicas can go anywhere from like 5,000 to like 11,000 at the top of the line. Like I think my Tsunami is at the very top of the line. The MR2s, there's some that are $20,000 that are for sale right now, but they usually have the 2zz in them. Now, if you get them that are not 2zz and have the 1zz in it, you can go anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, maybe even $11,000 or $12,000 for a manual on those. If you're going to get an SMT, I would stay away from doing the automatic SMT MR2. If you want to do a 2zz swap. I don't even think that would work. That being said though, I really think that with the MR2, it's like the middle range of it. So the Celica is like the most affordable version of a 1.8 liter VVTLI. Like if you want to hit lift and all you care about is hitting VTEC and having a manual gearbox, that's all you care about, not being the fastest in the straight line, not being the fastest around the corners, then the Celica is for you. Now, the aesthetics wise, the looks wise, the best car is going to be the Lotus. And the most expensive car is going to be the Lotus. So let's kind of break it out now into like all the categories that I've kind of felt like I've talked about. The first one is going to be which one gets a 1.8. They all do. You know, which one gets a 2zz? They all get a 2zz. So if you swap the MR2, like mine is. So that's kind of eliminated. Which one gets the manual transmission? Well, they all do, like mine do, because I own all three of them. And then which one gets the best looks? They all look good, but there's kind of winning factors. And then of course the last one's going to be which one's the price. So let's rank it. So third place for me is going to be the Toyota Celica. It looks really good. It performs well, but it does not perform and it does not look as good as the Celica, or excuse me, the Celica, as the Lotus or the MR2. That's just my opinion. But it comes in first place for cost. It's the most affordable. You get the 6-speed manual, you get the 1.8 liter VVTLI, and you get the fun. They are extremely fun cars, the Celica GTS, but it does come in third place. This might be a shocker, you guys, or maybe not, but for price and for power and for looks, the Lotus is going to come in second place. So why do I say that? The Lotuses are extremely expensive and extremely climbing in value, and I don't think the look of it or the raw driving experience of the Lotus, of this car, can offset the cost of the MR2. And so third place is going to be Celica, second place is going to be the Lotus. That might be a huge shock to you guys. And why do I say that? Is because I've owned all of them and I've owned all of them for a while. And I think that the Lotus this car is by far the fastest car I have, by far faster than the MR2, by far faster than the Celica, twice as fast as the Celica to be honest. Faster than my Evo, faster than probably any Mustang that I've ever driven, faster than my dad's BMW 5, faster than that. It's faster than any car that I've really driven besides like a 700 or 800 horsepower GTR or 1,000 horsepower Supra. This car is 0 to 60 is extremely quick. The turbo spools up extremely quick. 0 to 100 miles extremely quick. Fourth gear it'll go to 120 in just a blink of an eye. So everything about this car is faster. And performance-wise, the steering's better. There's nothing like the steering in a Lotus. The steering is probably the best in the industry. There is nothing better than the Lotus steering. So performance-wise, it's better. It is better than all of them. But the expensive cost of this car, of this hand-built car, this is not a used Lamborghini. This is not a used Aston Martin. This is not a used another exotic car, but it goes around, it's $40,000 to $50,000 for a car like this. You might get a couple at $39,000 or $36,000, but these are climbing in value. And the way that mine's set up with the turbo kit, I think is around $40,000, $45,000, maybe even $50,000 of value in this car. And to get that experience, you can get really close to it in the MR2. So I think that the MR2 takes the cake for this. I bought my MR2 like 13 or 14 years ago, and I've had it forever. Why do I like the MR2 so much? It looks really good. It can be daily driving, but I don't think it's a good daily driver. You can get into it for a mediocre middle price. To get a 2zz on it and the car itself with a really good strong build will be, and if they're quick, will be sub $10,000. So that being said, you could do it for under $10,000, and you could have not a Lotus. It won't look like a Lotus, and it won't perform as good as a Lotus, but it'll feel like the poor man's Lotus. And I truly believe that. Now, if you throw a turbo in there like mine, it's gonna change your mind. It's gonna be awesome. It'll break loose. It'll go 0 to 60 really quick. It's a fun, fast car. They're pretty nuts when you turbo it with the 2zz. But and I still have good reliability on mine. But I think that the Lotus is too expensive, and the Celica just doesn't give you that thrill of the rear-wheel drive mid-engine that these two cars do. So first place for me is my MR2. The MR2 Spider with a 2zz swap, whether it's turboed after the 2zz swap or naturally aspirated, maybe with some PPE race headers. I truly love that, and I think it's amazing. And if you put an Apexi Commander on there and get that thing tuned and get just around 200 wheel horsepower, you're gonna be in love with that car. It's really amazing. They really are, and I truly love mine. The seats are more comfy. These seats are extremely uncomfortable. Like, you don't want to ride in this seat more than, I don't know, more than 2 hours. You don't want to be in the seat. The MR2 you can take on a road trip. The MR2 you can get the hard top with it, or convertible just like this, and have that same experience. So it's going to be third place for the Celica, second place for the Lotus, and first place for the MR2, and I truly believe that way. So if you guys are wanting these, if you're well-to-do, get the Lotus. It has all the features, and it looks good. And the other thing that's really good about the Lotus is if you want to be in a supercar community, you can drive the Lotus around and it fits in, and people will respect the car. There's no, joke about the Lotus. Everyone thinks the Lotus is a cool car, and so I really do like that about the Lotus. The MR2 is not going to fit in any kind of supercar, but a really well done MR2 Spider will fit. People will give it a thumbs up. I'll give you a thumbs up. I really like it. And then the Celica is the best way to get the 1.8 liter 2zz, and the most fun with the Celica is because you can use it and not be afraid. Like, if you do any damage on this car, if anything goes wrong on the Lotus, it's expensive. I'm just gonna keep on going back to my $1,000 headlight. You could buy four pairs of headlights for the Celica for the same price as that one headlight. So I mean, the two headlights on the front of the Lotus are $2,500. It's insane. So the Lotus is expensive, and I think you guys understand that. And that's why there's not as many of them. This is a true special car, and I hope to hold on to it for as long as I can. I don't think I'll ever get rid of this thing. Mine's are even more special with the force fed. But I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoy this video. It's kind of just me talking. I love my cars. I love all of them. I love my MR2. It does come in first place for me. I love the red on it. I love the TRD action package with it. And I love my Celica, the Tsunami. I feel that all the 2zz cars I have are the best version. I don't think there's anything else out there personally that's better than what I have. And I'm very, very thankful that I got to experience all of them, and I get to experience all of them anytime I want. I love that. But make sure to hit the like button, guys. We'll be working on the front end of this car pretty soon. I got some more Celica content coming out soon. I'm going to do some wheel spacers that I'm excited for. I'm still waiting for them. And then swing by MITCHDORE.com. Grab some of my merch, grab a TRD steering wheel, grab anything I have on there, pick that up, help support me and my channel, and I'll go ahead and see you guys on the next video.